weird to say this, but am I the only person that disagree with the reviews? Am I?
Mom? I don't like this. Dad, I don't like this.
What's happening? Nina! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother! Nina! Mom, what's happening? Make it stop! Make it stop!
I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
Hereditary is directed by Ari Aster and stars Toni Collette, and it's a new horror film from the company of A24. What this movie is about is this mother played by Toni Collette. Basically, her mother just passed away, and after that, some strange things is happening in her life that is affecting her family, and that is all I'm going to say about the plot, because there's so many things happening in this movie that I just don't want to spoil. This is a non-spoiler review, guys. If you want to hear spoilers, go see the movie, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Well, I can't really get out of the plot. Now, I was actually pretty interested in this movie for a lot of reasons. One, I love scary movies. Two, I love A24. That company makes some pretty good movies. And it's very underrated too, because they made some pretty interesting movies. Like The Witch, that the producers of The Witch is in this project. The Witch is one of the most underrated horror films I have seen. And it's one of the most disturbing horror films as well. So I'm thinking this film might be the same thing, because the trailers look very disturbing. It looks like one of those movies that I'm going to walk out of going, oh my god, this movie is really handled, really gross, but in kind of like a good way, you know what I mean? So I went into this movie very excited, because I love scary movies, and I want to get scared out of the movie. And when I walked out of the movie, my mind has changed. And this movie got great reviews. 8 out of 10 on IMDb, and 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. To me, if I was Rotten Tomatoes, I'll rate this movie 50%. Yes, if you're telling already, I was pretty disappointed by this film. Now look, this film is not a terrible movie. It's not. This movie does have some great positives, but it has a lot of negatives too. And I really don't want to not like this movie, because, you know what? This movie is really creative, and it is. But to me, when I walked out of this film, I'm just thinking to myself, I didn't like it. I don't want to hate it, but I didn't like it, and I wanted to like this movie. I really do, because, you know what? This movie is a genius plot. It has a genius plot, and throughout the movie, there are so many things happening that they could have handled more better, in my personal opinion. But let's talk about the positives first to get you out of the way. First, the camera shots. Let's talk about that. That saved the movie, that's for sure. Most of the camera shot, it's more of like distance shots. Like the whole house is space, so they use the camera with all different shots. There's not even much close-up shots. They're mostly shots like near a person and all that. And the cinematography and all the shots in this movie were well done. I really loved the camera, and I really loved the cinematography of this movie. That's what saved the movie for me. Even the actors did a pretty good job. Like Toni Collette, I think she did a pretty good job. She's the one that did steal this movie, and I really like this actress. She's one of the most likable actresses in the movie. And yeah, she did a really great job in the film. Also, Alex Wolff, man, he stole this movie as well. I was a bit skeptical about his character, but my god, this kid's gone through some rough times in this movie, and that I did not expect, and he was really good in this film. And I never liked this actor, like I never liked him in Jumanji, and this movie he did shine throughout the whole entire movie. Even this little girl in the film, she was fantastic. I really enjoyed her performance in this film. She's good at playing this creepy ass girl. She is great at that. And also, there are some bits of this movie, some aura aspects of the movie, that they did quite cleverly, and I really like that. But guys, that is it with the positives. The biggest negative I can explain with this movie is that this film, it doesn't feel like a horror movie. You know where the horror movie is? Like, at the final act of the movie. The rest of the movie is all family tragedy. And it's not that I say that that's a bad thing, as long as it's very interesting. This movie was really slow, and it's really long as well. This movie is so freaking slow to get to the biggest horror aspects of the movie. We get, like, Toni Collette, her mother died, and she has to go through it and all that stuff, and I'm not going to spoil some other stuff, but there's more things happening in the movie that she just drags freaking on. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And it just drives me nuts. It actually became really boring once in a while. And I'm just thinking to myself throughout the movie, please make a scare, do something clever. Because the scares in this movie are quite clever, but the movie focuses more on a tragedy, which really, I didn't think that was necessary. Like, at least, like, yeah, try drag the horror aspect to that genre, but no, they just feels more of like a drama than a horror movie. And then the horror movie aspect is actually in the final act of the movie. And also, some of the characters in this movie were really fleshed out. For example, her husband in the movie. Holy shit. I was laughing at him most of the movie because you know he doesn't want to be in this movie. There's a scene, I'm not going to spoil it, but it has something to do with Toni Collette, like, just telling the dad what is going on. And he's just standing there like this. I'm not even kidding. He's like this. Like, you can tell he doesn't want to be in the movie. Or that's how he reacts. I'm not sure, but the way I see it, it just doesn't feel like he's in the whole entire movie. But it's just the biggest thing I hated, I said before, is that it's so slow. It drags on. So many scenes. Drags and drags and drags. And I was like this the entire movie. I'm like, come on, something happened. Something happened. There is a lot of interesting aspects that happen in this movie, but they just handle it so poorly. And I know there's a good movie in here somewhere because there are some scenes in the movie that they just could have shown more. Like, but then they just cut to another scene, and it really drives me nuts once in a while. And I'm really disappointed by this movie. And I love that company A24, but to me it's probably the worst they've ever done. And I know a lot of people are going to dislike the comments. Movie reviewing is all about opinions, and I really don't want to not like this movie, because this movie is very clever written, but the way the construction is happening in this movie, it's not fleshed out. It really handles not that great, and it became a pretty boring drama, and it does have horror aspects at the end of the movie. Even the horror aspects, some of the horror aspects in the movie were really not making sense. Like, there's the ending of the film, I was literally like, what is happening? What the hell was that? How did this actually happen? So guys, overall, Hereditary is not that great, in my personal opinion. I think it was a bit disappointing. But guys, I'm not trying to say to not watch this movie. Watch this movie and give your own opinion of it. It's not that I'm not letting you watch this movie. This is just my opinion of the movie. To me, it wasn't terrible. The positives are all there. There are some scares that are clever. The cinematography is fantastic. Most of the casting did a really good job. But the movie became a pretty tragic drama that I just feel like they dragged on with it. And it doesn't feel much like a horror movie. It feels more like a drama. In my range scale, I'm giving Hereditary a C-. Don't dislike the comments because I hate the movie. I want you to go to this movie and get your own opinions out. So guys, if you have seen it, what do you think of Hereditary? Comment below, let me know what you think, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.